Actually, when I was a kid, my parents always told me na parang magbe-business ka, Becca. And I'm like, bakit? And then I'm just like, bakit nga ba? And then sabi nila, it's because I think you use money differently.
Welcome to Unifest Talks. In the professional world, everyone is expecting you to use a blueprint for success. But the biggest wins are usually found outside the lines. How do you commit to your ideas when everyone around you is telling you to stay within the lines? Welcome to Unifest Talks. We interview leaders who built their own unique path of success and growth. These are the entrepreneurs and creators who had to build their own blueprint, showing us how to transform raw vision and sheer resilience into undeniable, unconventional success. We focus on the wisdom gained from staying in the process, not just the final result. This episode of Unifest Talks is brought to you by HKB Digital, our partner who believes that intentional endurance is the key to lasting success. Visit unifest.com to learn more about our partners and how they support you, the next generation of global co-creators towards a better life. It's time to manifest the best version of you. Time to learn the art of intentional endurance. Welcome to Unifest Talks. I'm your host, Rex Remitio. And if you've ever felt like your journey doesn't look like anyone else's on social media, you're exactly where you need to be. My guest today is a software builder and serial entrepreneur who focuses on solving the biggest headaches for Filipino SMEs, from payroll to event logistics under HKB Digital. Our partner brand for Unifest Talks will be here with you. Let's welcome Miss Rebekah Kieng. Welcome to the show, Becca.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Actually, super exciting to just come here and meet everyone. And if ever people have questions, I would love to also know them. Kahit nga in the comment section, if ever there is like a post for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first, what made you want to use customized technology to solve mundane problems of, for example, payroll or even event logistics?
Actually, ewan ko if it's a generational thing or if it's just me, but we really don't like lining up or just waiting in general. So the idea of event software came from I really hate lining up to do networking for like, let's say, going to MOA or like going to a hotel. Tapos sabi ko, bakit di ako makapasok sa venue? And that's why we created the software na after you pay for the tickets, it sends you like the tickets sa phone and you just go in whichever session you are going to by showing your QR. And once it's scanned, it actually tells if this person is paid or unpaid or something like that. So it's kind of like Ticket Melon, but more for business-to-business working. Yeah. The payroll was kind of like a compliance thing. A lot of our Philchai business owner friends are very nasa-stress due to a lot of things. Particularly Dole. I don't know if you've experienced that as a business owner, but if you're paying salaries, there's so many new laws coming, like SSS, PhilHealth, GSIS, the loans, the calamities, and even just taking attendance because marami daw nang dadaya sa attendance. And then they keep telling me about their problems to the point I'm like, sige, let's just solve it. Let's just solve it. And then we made the system to check facial verification of the person and also just to compute for everything. For if someone ends up complaining to the government na I wasn't paid, they have like a picture of the person receiving the money and they also have the location and the computation. Like, talagang naka-document siya in case like the HR resigns or leaves, the owner isn't like panicking na, nagagawin ko, ganun. So that's what happened.
So at the moment when you were thinking what to pursue next, before you established this business, what motivated you to at least use customized technology or what you're doing right now? Bakit, ano yung motivation mo?
Actually, dalawa motivation ko. Business kasi, for me, is like a way to help people. It's not always a profit thing. Kasi syempre, if you're still young, you don't really care much yet for profit for now. Pero naging customized software kasi sa Philippines, wala tayo yung talagang sariling atin, kumbaga. Like, if you ask friends or other people in like the US, Canada, Singapore, and even like Indonesia, you say, what is the Philippines known for? Ang pinaka-sad answers I've been hearing is like human capital, labor, sometimes even domestic helpers. And I'm just like, there's so many talented people in the Philippines. And it's sad to be categorized by something na we're not just that, diba? Parang sasabihin lang ba nila na Philippines is just nurses and all that? Parang not throwing shade to those jobs. Those jobs are really, really good and needed. But to generalize a whole country just for human labor is quite sad. So I thought na we actually needed a product. Then when I was looking at the scope of the Philippines, wala pala tayong software company na, alam mo yun talagang pinipili. Kasi other businesses, they would choose to work with Australian companies who created like software from 2001, 1995. 1995, imagine.
Okay.
And then, even if it's 1995, ginagamit pa rin. I was like, why are you using it? They say, kasi wala tayong talent for it. I'm just like, shucks, meron tayong talent, hindi lang alam. So I had to go make the system, get it accredited to the government, get it like DPO approved, NPC approved, etc., patented. Just so if I approach a company na corporation or kahit nga SME, they would say, trustworthy to. And then they partner with us. So that's pretty much why it ended up custom software for the Philippines. So we have a different talent.
When you say DPO
Yeah.
and PC accreditation, can you what can you define
sige,
that
sige.
for our viewers?
Sure,
lang?
sure.
Oo.
DPO is data privacy officers.
Okay.
We basically need those for software companies so that in case may data privacy leakage or anything sensitive, we can make sure na we could protect the users. And then kapag NPC, it's the National Privacy Certificate, wherein yung isang business every year needs to constantly have a renewal of the privacy data so that they know na this business is following the law and not selling the data or at least using it for their own profit and gain. So those papers, you need to make sure it's there. It's kind of like, some people will think sayang pera, but for me, although it might be medyo sayang pera, it's for the safety of the people anyway. So better na you help others than you do it wrong, right? So better na maayos na lahat kaysa magulo.
And you mentioned about business as a tool of helping others, diba? Of all like possible businesses that you can pursue, why this particular automation, technology?
Cool. Actually, when I was a kid, my parents always told me na parang magbe-business ka, Becca. And I'm like, bakit? And then I'm just like, bakit nga ba? And then sabi nila, it's because I think you use money differently. Like, they were like, diba? A lot of people say money is like the root of all evil. But for me, I think of it differently. I think money is a root, but it's not like the root. Kasi money only enhances the character of a person. So if, let's say you're a really good person, you'll use money correctly. And if you're a person who is very selfish in nature, you will use it for selfish reasons. So, sabi nila, when I was a kid daw, I think I was selling candy when I was 3 years old outside. And then after I got the money, I would treat my parents daw or someone in the street to like burgers daw. I don't remember this, they told me lang. I was passed that information. So sabi nila, baka you'd be good in this field. So sabi ko, sige. So when I went to college, I took business. And then yung industry na I first stepped in just happened to be software. And I was like, since my expertise is already here, I'll just continue it anyway. And then that's how it ended up in software. But honestly, whatever industry I'm in, the goal will always have been the same. It's to be helping the people you're with or the communities that you have. So, na yan lang, naisip ko, why not software? Kasi low capital if you have the talent here. But at the same time, whatever business we pick anyway, the goal should always be the same. It's the humanity that runs the AI, that runs the software. I mean, those are tools, right? Our job is to make life easier for people so they have time with their friends, family, communities. And that's partly why I ended up here. Yeah, yun.
And personally ba, may fascination ka about automation, software? Kasi for some, it can be intimidating,
Yes,
especially, diba, it involves some, whatever programming it is,
Tama.
diba? Pero ikaw, how did you face that na parang software, diba? So techy. So,
Yeah.
Pero ikaw?
Actually, I get that a lot. A lot of people, when they hear software, they're like, what is software? Or what's the difference of a software and a website? They cannot like distinguish what is software, what's a website, what's social media. Walang difference to some people. And we have to say na software is kind of like, or development, at least software development, it's kind of like building a house. Diba if someone said, I'm in construction, sasabihin nila, residential, commercial. And then they know, it's building a home, building a building. Software development is kind of like that. But instead of building a physical home, you're building a digital home. It could be like a game, an app. Basta it has a structure where people could come together as a community, use it together, and it brings either data or benefits to their personal life. Pwede siya through learning and development, like education. But it can also be for leisure, like let's say entertainment and other things that they want. So the industry is just something na I like learning because that's where we're going anyway. Parang, let's say now, even if we refuse for the next 5 years, sabi mo, ayaw ko mag-aral ng Grab, Facebook, Instagram. I'm just not using it. 5 to 10 years later, what if our payment systems are already integrated in like those apps? How are you gonna pay for your food and stuff like that? So it's better na you study it if you can than you just keep rejecting it and then the next 10 to 20 years you're like, shucks, I'm so left behind. I can't even get a job or I can't even like help the people I want because basic things are so interconnected already. Yeah.
I'm just curious lang, no? Kasi, diba, since IT and, are usually, diba, predominantly male-dominated na field. So, how were you when you were starting? Did you encounter related challenges?
I find that interesting because historically, women have always had the comparison with males in the workplace. And I realized na IT is just one of the many, many sectors anyway. And the challenges naman have always been the same, male or female, wherein you may be judged by gender. But I think...
Were you?
Partially.
Okay.
Pero competence does bring it out. Kasi, syempre, the first impression, they're gonna think, are you here for selling a product? Sales. Because girls are known for... selling the product instead of like making certain things, right? And doing the nitty-gritty. Which I understand kasi it wasn't like that historically. But if you prove it otherwise, like into your conversations or maybe just the way you handle certain topics, it then proves a point na parang a person can do both. You can't really encapsulate a person's maybe looks, gender, race to a specific skill because there's also the human nature and effort that's in play, right? So, ganun talaga ang world. We can't do anything about prejudice, but we can only handle how we react to those and how we move forward. Ganun siya.
And how do you feel when you were like, sabihin na natin you were judged like that, and at the same time when you respond, so how do you feel at those moments?
I think like if this was me 5 years ago, I would be super mad. Like I would rage in a sense na at home. I would say, how judgmental can a person be? And say, why do they look at girls or younger people in general like this? Because I know age comes into play. Wherein if you're talking to like someone older, because I've been in meetings na the head is like 55, 65, 80. There's people who are like that. And whenever because some of my staff are like 40 years old. And then when they say, this is the meeting with the CEO, and then I appear, they're like, what? Why is it her? That's the question, right? And then I'm just like, I do understand that. Now I will react differently in a sense na I'm sure that technology is kind of biased to the younger generation. Because if you were to, let's say, look for someone at 40 to 50 and tell them, hey, can you tell me the trends of technology now? The answer you're gonna get from someone at that age versus someone at like 15 to 20 or 20 to 30 is such a vast gap. So you'll notice na, in all industries, maybe the elders will win, but in the game of technology, the younger people are actually the masters of it. So you can't even judge it because at the end of the day, if we ask any of their professionals the questions and the ones who have the answer are the younger ones, they would have to be forced to kind of move towards the right ones, the right direction. So that's how we handle it. Sometimes it's just your competence proves the point. Yeah.
Okay, competence proves the point, no?
Yeah.
So for you naman, what drives you to start multiple business at the same time, diba? So how do you make it happen? I understand you have multiple businesses, right? So
yeah. Part of it is due to boredom.
First, diba, so can you first enumerate kung ano yung mga types ng businesses mo then? O yun nga, what drives you to start multiple businesses?
Okay. in terms of what businesses, apart from software, we also do have events business where we do the balloons, the coffee carts, the donuts, the snacks, and the catering. Reason for that is because if I wasn't in the software industry, I would be in the events industry. I used to do hosting and also radio when I was in college. Like as a hobby, right?
Radio, college radio, or is it
college
like,
radio? It didn't go to media because I ended up in business. But if I wasn't there, I would have gone to media. For the sake of it was fun for me that time. But I wasn't there. So sabi ko, business na lang, sige. Let's make the dream come true. So that's why it ended up there. And I guess if you say multiple businesses, one is also logistics. I bought a few like motorcycles and then gave it to a few people and got them to do bookings sa other provinces who aren't magamit sa Grab or Lalamove. Because I don't know why Grab in like the province is extremely expensive compared to here. Like if I were to do Grab from Quezon City to BGC, it would cost like 300 to 400. If I were to go to a province na 20 minutes lang, 600.
Wow.
600. I was like, what? Why? So we had to make a cheaper option for people who wanted to book. And I was like, may market, let's try it out. So this year is kind of like, let's try it out for that business.
How was it so far?
So far, meron naman gumagamit. Pero I realized certain provinces kasi limited business owners. So, because there's only limited industries in certain provinces, you're gonna rely on the limited market. So certain provinces still need to be developed for them to have transportation. So that mapili ka lang saan mo ilalagay yung
And how do you make it happen to manage these all at once?
I believe in delegation. Delegation of tasks. I know kasi a lot of people from the olden times, like my parents and grandparents, they are to say na, oh, don't teach your skills to the people you're working with. They're gonna steal your business and etc. And although that makes sense, right? I think the only thing that makes it stand out is if you're actually kind to the people that you work with. And you also are willing to teach them anyway. Kasi it's kind of like a partnership ba, with you having specific roles lang. So for example, if I was in a role na nakalagay CEO, pag nag-uusap naman kami, let's say nag-uusap kami nung staff, hindi ko naman tawag sa kanya staff or employee. For me, team member lang. Parang sabi ko, same team lang naman tayo. Kailangan lang natin ipakita sa mga tao na meron tayong rankings for the sake of merong rankings. But if we're in one room, sometimes we just end up playing or talking and just talking about life. I think in the Philippines, or actually worldwide. Like playing collaboratively. For example, we play a game where like, how will this game help the people? Parang may ganon. Playing collaboratively.
Okay.
I think kasi, if a person or your team is comfortable, mas happy sila to contribute than if they're on the edge, na parang they're dreading to go to the work. Kasi there's a lot of work cultures na parang they destroy other people to get in a higher rank, which I really don't like. So, for me, if kaya lang talaga, it's better na everyone's treated with mutual respect. And if they know na we appreciate your talent for this, this, and this, you decide for this topic, someone decides for this topic, as long as maayos yung setting of roles, you can delegate it well. And then, na yun, let's say, yung nagmamanage ng, let's say, technology, I have someone that is really good at the, let's say, someone that's really good at inventory. Siya talaga yung mag-handle dun. So sabi ko, in the case na wala ako, I'm sick or something, as long as it doesn't involve finances, I give you authority to decide. And if the client doesn't like it, then tell them to call me, just in case. Or at least push it forward a little. Kasi I'm like, for me, I'd rather keep you, sabi ko dun sa mga tao, than keep the client happy. As weird as that sounds, diba, sa business industry, it's like, customers are always right. For me, it's baliktad. I'm like, for me, I'd keep you first before I keep a client. Kasi money can be earned. But the trust in your team na you built cannot
Takes
just be...
time.
Yeah, it takes time. You need to choose correctly. So it's medyo baliktad than the current industry. It's like, people first, clients mamaya na. Ganon. Ganon siya, medyo.
Yeah, I know of some companies naman who have
Yeah.
that philosophy as well, di ba? Na, yun nga, parang employees first, ganon, something like that. So, ano yung mga methods that you use to anticipate future market needs, di ba? Especially that in technology, 'di ba? AI, everything is moving fast. So, how do you anticipate those future movements sa market?
I think now we can anticipate a lot, but not everything. Like for me, I know we can anticipate specific complaints. Like I look at the people's complaints, then we find solutions to those complaints. That's how I've been anticipating things. But there are things na kasi we really won't know. So for that, I think it's managing risk in a sense na when you look at technology, you need to think of what's the technology for. Hindi siya parang trend lang. So let's say, di ba we use technology for business and we use it for politics or we use it for cultural growth. It's more of you need to observe the culture of the country, the political landscape of a country, the lifestyle of the people, yung target market, and the problems na you are able to solve versus the ones na you do not want to solve. Kasi there are problems na you cannot solve. Like humanity has problems, a lot, but we cannot solve all of them. So we just choose the ones we can, and then that's where we focus on and anticipate saan pupunta yung problems after. Yun. Ganun siya.
Okay. Curious lang ako, no? What's the most unconventional data naman, insight pala, that you've found in client data that really struck you?
Depende sa industry. Client data, I guess na if Philippines, particularly business owners in Metro Manila, a lot of them speak na they want change. Speech. But their actions, baliktad.
Okay.
Let's say, for example, business owner ka, you'll tell your staff, you'll tell your friends na, oh, I'm so for change. Yeah, social media, I love that. I like having a website, ganon. And then when you actually talk to them, they're like, honestly, I don't want to do it. It's too hard. Or I don't wanna do it because sayang pera. Ganon. So you realize na there's the mask of the owner para mag-meet ng trends.
Or maybe the idealized self na, okay, I want this, pero yung pala in reality. The authentic self says
The authentic self
otherwise.
is like, nah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the data I've been seeing. So there's actually a few. And it's interesting na there's a lot of generational businesses, like from the parents to the child. Pag sa parents, ayaw talaga nila. And then once pinasa nila sa child, you will see the child like saying, oh, let's find na. And then takbo-takbo sila. They're gonna canvas for all the improvements. It's like they've been holding to all of these ideas. And then they're just like, finally, it's mine now.
Ramdam ko rin siya.
I got the business, I will fix it, ganon. So a lot of kids pala are in progress na parang, I'm just waiting. That's also another data. I've noticed it's quite funny, but yeah, that's been happening. So I guess we're still waiting for the parents to pass it over to the next gen. It's kind of in transition period at this point of time. So we're looking around, is it gonna grow? Or is it not gonna grow? Hit or miss, still looking at it.
Kala ko, pati yung i-share mo, kala ko.
Bawal sabihin eh.
Anyway, so how do you deal with those clients na, yun nga, parang iba yung sinasabi nila dun sa ginagawa nila?
Honestly, sometimes the easiest way to deal with them is just to ignore them. Kasi sometimes, there are people who talk to you for the sake of complaining. Like, not because they want a solution.
Or they want to avail of your service.
Yeah, they're just nagsasayang ng oras.
Really? Yes. Talaga? Or maybe they thought that they want it but hindi pala. Parang ganon.
Yes. Parang love life lang. They thought they wanted you and they didn't pala.
Parang may hugot. Parang naramdaman may hugot sa'yo doon na, baka yan yung sa next episode natin.
Oo, ganun pala, tips.
Oo nga eh. Sige. Pero naramdaman ko nga nakarelate ka doon. Okay. Tapos so you ignore na lang.
Yes.
Okay. And they don't follow up na usually naman pagka.
Yeah, they don't until they hear na you did something great. And then they're like, ay, shucks, I need to follow up. Which is weird, right? They're like, let's say ayaw nila, sila yung unang ni-approach mo. Then next 3 months later, you appeared in an event. One of their close friends was like, wow, so amazing. Did it for their business. They're like, it worked. Babalikan ka like 3 months later. Ay, pwede ba this price ulit? Sabihin ko, no, at this point, our prices have increased na. Kasi syempre, in time, technology has increased in price, inflation rates and everything, right? So, I think some people don't understand why it changes in price. And then I'm just like, it's because of the time, the expertise, and basically the requirements that they used to want also increased when they learned that we could do so much more. Kasi sometimes you see system as, website, yun lang. And then you're like, ay, pwede pala idikit sa warehouse ko. Ay, pwede pala paggamit sa staff ko. Ay, paano na pag hindi sila marunong gumamit? Didikit na lang natin sa cellphone nila. Tapos they're like, may tracker pala sa cellphone. Pwede
Okay.
i-GPS. Gaganon sila. Tapos they're like, pwede lahat? And then we're just like, what do you mean by lahat? Everything you said. We're just like, do we itemize this? And then we itemize it. They're like, everything. And then we're just like, there's different prices for that. And then they're like, yeah, everything. And then when they hear the price, and then it goes on, and negotiation and everything happens. So that's what it looks like behind the scenes, the hecticness. Because they also don't know what they need until they realize, shucks, ang dami pala natin kailangan ayusin. Parang bahay na sira. Kala nila ayos yung bahay. Tapos nakita nila, ay, may water leakage. Ay, yung electricity pala tumaas dahil meron nakatakabit na cable. So, then they realize na pwede pa ayos lahat. And then we're just like, isa-isa. And then they see all their operational holes. And they want us to fix it. So, we ended up becoming a consultant/business consultant/technology partner.
I suppose mag-charge na rin kayo doon sa consultancy.
Diba?
Oo.
Yeah, so in some businesses, we end up becoming a consultant. But in some, we end up becoming the one fixing it also. So, sobrang dami.
Yeah. Okay. So, at this point, no, what's next for HKB Digital? What do we expect, let's say, in the coming 1 year, 3 years?
I think for the next 1 to 3 years, we're going to do social media na. Kasi we haven't done any social media. It's been B2B so far. So far kasi it's been working. Sabi ko, do I really want to do this in social media? Kasi baka tadtarin kami ng tawag, yung calls. I mean, it's not a bad problem. It's actually a good problem. But I also want na naka-invest din sa work-life balance ng team. I don't know if it's an idealistic thing. Kasi for me, I value people eh. Gusto ko may work-life balance ang tao.
You value people.
Pero pag sobrang dami kasi magtanong sa'yo, paano sila magka-work-life balance? And then the question is like, am I gonna hire more people? But hiring them takes like 6 months to a year of training. So it means if I do social media, it needs to be in the next 2 years. Because next year needs to be hiring.
Or maybe
So,
hiring an agency.
Yeah. So I'm in the middle of thinking how to scale the business without killing the mental health of the people in the team.
And your mental health
And
as
mine
well.
also. So sabi ko, peace over business muna for now. I know some people will say, parang bagal naman ng ginagawa mo. Pero at the same time, like, mabagal naman yung progress ng Philippines. Okay lang.
Okay. Siguro curious lang din ako, no? At this point in your life na, you know, you have like multiple businesses and, diba, you're like really on this field, no? You're standing your ground on this field. What are the things that you're proud about yourself?
I'm not even sure.
Compared
Proud
to
about myself?
compared to your point A. Yeah.
I don't know if it's proud about myself, but certain things na I would like to highlight maybe in parts of life.
Or grateful about yourself.
Grateful maybe. I think I'm not grateful for myself in particular, but I'm grateful for the people who supported me so I could get here. Because when I was a kid, until graduation, scholarship lahat. So from like LM to college, high school, ganyan, scholarship. Like there were different foundations. Like Metrobank Foundation founded my, they funded my high school, and then a church funded my
Yun yung sa mga, ano, sa
elementary.
mga magaling sa
Ganun.
math, diba?
Yeah, math and science.
Oo,
Yeah.
oo.
So yeah, it was pretty good. Like for me, I would like to thank people, even like silent donors. Kasi my dad is a pastor and my mom is a teacher. So, there were people who just thought na, sayang naman, they're doing contribution, tapos hindi na mapaaral yung anak. So, they contributed. So, I'm grateful for that. God really made ways. I don't know how He did it. Another thing I'm grateful for, apart from the opportunities, I think, good team members. Like, I don't know how I found them, but those chance meetings ended up becoming big things. And I'm just happy na they're able to stick with me. Kasi nung nag-start talaga yung business, yung tipong yung capital mo parang wala-wala pa. They were like, I'm gonna stick to your idea while it's still nothing. There was 0 clients, you know. And then they were like, yeah. And then they stuck through yung maliit pa, then na yun lumalaki na, and then papunta na kami sa more stressful period. I'm just like super thankful for people who are I guess loyal ba to the cause. I wouldn't say loyal to the job. Kasi for me, I always told them na if we ever, sample lang sabi ko, if we ever failed, and you wasted, sample sabi ko sa kanila, 2 to 3 years of your life, or maybe 5 years with me, I will still do my best na ipapasok ko kayo sa corporate. Kasi may connections na eh. Sabi ko, ipapasok ko kayo dun. So, wala kayong time na mawawala ng job. Like, I will do my best. If I fail this, you will get in. Sabi ko, papapasok ko kayo. Kasi worst case scenario, sabi ko naman, at least we tried. Kaysa we looked back and saying, ba't di tayo nag-business when we were still young? Kaya, yun, that's the
No what
gratefulness.
ifs.
Yeah, no what ifs, no regrets. All in tayo for now. Ganon.
What matters is you did your best.
Yes,
Diba?
yes.
You did your best.
Oo.
Given this, no, ano yung tips mo for those who are starting their business pa lang or planning to start their business? Siguro, maybe ano yung mga learnings mo na ma-share mo rin sa kanila?
Well, I think it's just ask better questions.
Okay.
Because a lot of business owners, they have good ideas na they think are good ideas. And they stick to those ideas hanggang bumagsak sila. Like, they throw their capital, they throw their effort, their time, but they never heard na kailangan ba talaga to ng market. Alam mo yung parang, let's say you love something so much, tapos hindi mo pala ginagawa yung gusto nila. Kasi business is meeting a need and a demand, right? Eh, what if walang demand yung idea nila? So, they need to ask questions first to dun sa mga taong kasama nila or the market na they want, right? Kasi with no clarity, sobrang babagsak lang yung business. It's like wasting time. It's like paddling a boat with no destination. Paikot-ikot lang. Ganun.
Wow. Paddling a boat without destination.
Oh, paikot-ikot lang. A lot of people in this generation, not even this generation, maybe previously as well, have been failing both career, life, relationships because they don't have directions as to what it's going to be for. They have goals, short-term goals. But they never thought about, para saan ba to? Purpose niya. Is this gonna help me long-term in life? And because of the lack of insight, right? And you can't even blame them because schools don't teach it. Sometimes even your family doesn't teach it. Your friends can't help you as well. So it's more of, you need to have that walk of self-discovery. Like, who am I? What am I doing this for? Then you do business. Kasi if nawala ka sa gitna, you don't know who you are, sira yung business. Kasi the business reflects, at least in the first 3 years, the business reflects the character of the owner. And if it fails, most likely, magka-crumble din yung self-identity ba ng owner. So, you need to have that strong sense of self-identity.
I definitely agree. Yeah.
Before you can push
Yeah,
forward.
everything begins with identity.
Yeah.
Lalo na of the owner, di ba?
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
everything follows. Behavior, the structure of your company, the results even, di ba? Okay, so before we end, no, we ask our guests usually like some sort of a mandatory question because we believe
Mandatory.
na, tawag dito, success is driven by tiny little steps and not necessarily by one big decision. So, for you, ano yung routine, habit, or ritual mo na non-negotiable na kailangan mangyari siya araw-araw, yung kahit yung iba hindi na mangyari, pero ito dapat mangyari to at ginagawa mo siya?
Feel ko hindi agreeable lahat ng tao. But, for me, it's really prayer and gratefulness to what you have now. Kasi, for me, when I was a kid, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to eat the next day or study the next day or next month if may bahay pa kami. So, the me now is also saying na, God, thank you, the house is here. Or, thank you, I have food, I'm not worrying about what to buy. Like, thank you for parents na still alive. Kasi a lot of people end up at their deathbed. Sabi ko, parang, ano ba iisipin nila? Business ko ba? Or yung time spent with family? Di ba may ganun? So for me, it's always like, if I feel bad, sad, or particularly stressed pag may challenges, I just think, what was it that I was praying for before? What was granted now? And am I thankful for that? And then it pushes me through the day, kahit mahirap or masaya. Ganun.
Since you've mentioned that, so if there's one thing that you'd like to tell your younger self that you're thankful for, what are you thankful for?
I think thankful for not giving up. Kasi a lot of people now, mental health-wise, if a lot of things crash, like, feel mo nag-crash na yung physical, emotional, spiritual, family, relationships, let's say nag-crash lahat sabay-sabay, wala nang good thing, okay? The only good thing is you're alive and you don't even know if being alive is a good thing, right? That was a point of time na I was like, gusto ko pa ba mabuhay? May ganon. And then I'm just thankful na the self before, trusted na, saying na, your future self is not gonna allow this to happen. Like, my past self nag-bet siya, nag-gamble siya na, your future self is gonna succeed. Even if now, sobrang pangit ng sitwasyon. And I'm thankful na hindi siya nag-give up. Kasi if nandito mangyari. Kasi if I gave up, stop na. Wala na. So, yun. So, for people na medyo hirap now, I think the only thing you can say is like, I'm gambling on my future self. Not on the world, not on the people. Just, God send help. Kaya yan. Push mo lang. Even if you don't know what to do, it's like, yun talaga eh. We do our best. You know?
We do our best.
Yeah.
Sige. So, yeah, push mo lang.
Diba, push mo lang.
Oo. So, yeah, thank you so much, no, Becca, for your insight, and it was really inspiring how you manage all of these, diba? And, you know, the idea that you're not giving up, really asking questions, being grateful to the people na were with you when you were starting, and, you know, these are the things, this is the blueprint that, for success that, you know, our listeners can actually, like, parang embrace din, 'di ba, moving forward, no? And of course, syempre, 'di ba, your pursuit for personal growth, 'di ba? And until mas lalo pang dumami yung mga taong matulungan mo. So, yeah, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom today. Is there anything that you'd like to share? You'd like to tell our viewers?
I think if you have any business questions, a lot of people in like the Unifest channel is super happy to answer it. Like, hahanapan nila kayo ng speakers. Kasi, di ba, a lot of people, if you have questions and people na hindi in business answer it, pangit yung sagot. So, if you want quality answers, I think just watch the channel and ask it straight. They're going to answer it for you. They're gonna get someone in that industry. So, I guess, kaya yan, just ask the correct questions. Diba?
Oh, push natin yan. Thank you so much, Becca. So, until next time, keep trusting yourself and committing to the process. This is Unifest Talks.
That was another masterclass in sustainable success. If today's conversation showed you anything, it's that your vision is worth the focus, and the journey demands your resilience, not your burnout. Take one unconventional step today towards manifesting the best version of you. Again, a huge thank you to our partner, HKD Digital, for supporting the collective's vision for Unifest Talks. And special thanks to the following for their support: Eastern Communications and Ayala Foundation. To catch all the lessons from our guests, hit subscribe wherever you are tuning in and follow Unifest on all social media platforms. Visit unifest.com to access the show notes and connect with our global co-creators of tomorrow. Until next time, keep trusting yourself and committing to the process.